last week. For today's class, grab a blanket or a towel to place under your knees. We'll be on our knees a little bit, just like last week. A sip of water, a pillow if you'd like. And we'll get started here. In another minute or so, we'll wait for more folks to come join us on this lovely, lovely Thursday. I do want to be mindful of your time, but maybe we'll wait another minute or two before we get started. I'm Megan, or Meg Stegman. I won't be playing music. So I did link to a really great playlist from another teacher, Haley Jones. She leads our classes, our virtual classes over on like the main Bottom Line site, but she played this playlist the other day in class when I took her class, and it was really nice. So I wanted to share that with you all. Yeah, another week of work from home quarantine. We're surviving, we're thriving, right? Make sure you have enough space kind of for big and small movements as much as your home allows. My house allows for just about a star pose is about it here. Yours might be the same. And if there's any areas of the body, shoulders, low back, hips, or hamstrings that you'd like to work on, just shoot me a quick message in the chat and we can make sure we get to those as our time together rolls out. So I've been thinking a lot about how our workouts and our yoga are not, I sometimes see it as a distraction from what's going on in my life or in the broader community. And a teacher of mine said our practice, our yoga is not a distraction, it's a practice. And so I wanted to share that with you today as just sort of a centering thought that our time together is not a distraction from what's going on in our, four walls of our home or the four walls of our community or our world, but rather a way to practice compassion, a way to practice pushing through, a way to practice doing hard things. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. If you have that blanket or towel, you can fold it in half and place it under your knees. We're going to start in a child's pose. So take your knees wide and your big toes come to touch together behind you. You're going to anchor your hips down towards your heels and then slide your hands forward. Rest your elbows down, and then if you're able to, go ahead and rest your forehead down here too. I forgot I had my mic on, y'all. So really sink down into the four corners of your mat. Allow your head to be heavy in between your arms. And start to maybe close your eyes or soften your gaze here. And soften the outer edges of the physical body, of your physical body. Check in with your fingers and forearms. Can you soften and rest them? Maybe your biceps could be released, your shoulders or jaw. Where can you find a little bit of space here? As you take this shape of child's pose a grounding, meditative posture. Take a few moments to consciously be here now. So there were definitely things that happened before right this moment. And I'm sure there's a to-do list for after. Acknowledge both of those things, past and future. But decide to use this moment as a practice, not a distraction from either one of those things. Our practice of being here now. With your head down on the floor, just lift your forearms up so they become a little more active, and notice any feedback in your shoulders. And then take a gentle walk of your hands over to the right side of your space. Your head may follow. You can stay here with your fingertips extending away from your arm sockets, or place your left hand on top of your right. See if you can lower that left shoulder down a bit as you press your left hip towards your left heel. Your eyes are soft or closed. Let's take it to the other side. So gently walk your hands over to the left side. You can stay here in this lateral stretch, right? We're stretching out the side of our body. Or bring the right hand on top of the left, feeling a little more feedback from your obliques, from your ribs, and then lower the right shoulder down. Almost think of it like an active release. And inhale, bring yourself back to center. Arms stay lifted, elbows stay lifted. And exhale. Good. Inhale, lift up to tabletop, so all fours. And adjust your legs so your knees are right here under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders. Use your next 5 breaths for cat-cow. So we inhale, soften elbows, push belly down, lift thighs up. Exhale, round and curl for cat pose. So inhale, maybe eyes are closed. And exhale, round and curl. Good, take the next 3 on your own, looking for organic movements that your body wants to do that again helps soften the edges and bring you to that connection of mind and body. So our mind isn't necessarily turned off in yoga or meditation or mindfulness, but we are tuned in a different way without judgment. Come to a flat back here. And we're gonna reach the right arm up. So reach your right arm up. Bring a little weight into the left hand, right? We tend to lean back here. And then exhale, thread the needle. So we're gonna guide that right hand under left and reach, reach, reach. If you're just joining us, take a few moments to get into your cat-cows or a child's pose. If you're in this thread the needle, I want you to see if you can lift that right arm up a little. Do you feel that kind of core work there? So you can stay here or lower it down. So always an option to kind of practice a bit more. Good, if you have that right hand lifted, I want you to lower it down. And then inhale, rise back up. Reach up tall. Exhale, right hand down. And let's take it over on the left side. So you're gonna inhale that left arm up from your tabletop. And then exhale, scoop it under. Really pressing in to the left knuckles. Good, got it. You can lift that left knuckle hand up, knuckle side of the hand up, or stay where you are. And then inhale, let's stretch it back up. So left arm back up, reach up, hand down to the mat, and come back down into your child's pose just once more. So knees wide, big toes to touch, stretch back. And this time I want you to slide your fingertips maybe 1 inch further forward. Gaze down the tip of your nose. Feel that length in the spine with every inhale. Imagine you're creating space between each piece of the spinal column. And exhale. Good. Inhale, lift up into tabletop. And then exhale for downward facing dog or puppy dog. So that puppy dog pose, knees stay stacked under hips, and you just extend your arms out to get that down dog stretch. Downward dog, we know this one. Hips up high. And I want you to focus on sort of corkscrewing your hands down into the floor. So fingers are wide, but not overly wide. And then I always, gosh guys, I've been practicing yoga for years, and I still like to keep a bend in my knees so I can lift my tailbone up and then tuck my low ribs in. I have pretty tight hamstrings from cycling and running, so my heels may never touch the floor. Yours may not either, but guess what? It's a distraction thinking about my heels. The practice is knowing what my body can do. Good, one more inhale here in your down dog. And exhale. Being mindful of that blanket or towel, you're gonna walk your hands back to your feet. So we're gonna take our time coming back to a forward fold with wide legs, bent knees. Good, let your head hang heavy. Look between your legs. And you're gonna bring your right hand under your face, maybe right hand come onto fingertips, or maybe even a fist. And we're gonna bend the right knee, straighten out the left leg, reach the left arm up. Now from here, I want you to bring a little weight forward into the ball mount of your left foot and just feel that feedback in the glute and the hamstring. If you bring the weight back, it's a different sensation, right? So experiment where that feels good to you. And let's roll out the left wrist. So make a fist here and circle it out one way and circle it out the other way. You can gaze down or to the side or up, depending on how your neck feels today. And on your next exhale, we'll switch it out. So my wrists are a little sore today, so I'm gonna go to fists, kind of those gorilla fists here. Bend my left knee, anchor my left hand down, right leg straightens, right arm lifts up. And again, in your body, play a little bit with that weight in the heel and the weight forward. I get more feedback when my weight is forward towards my toes. Close the right fist and circle. So part of the yoga practice is taking the guiding cues that I give as just that, a guide, right? It's not a rule book. It's not linear. It's figuring out what works for you. Exhale, bring the right hand down. And we're gonna inhale to a halfway lift. So legs straighten a bit, and you're gonna press your tailbone back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and create a nice flat back. So you might need to draw your navel in a bit. Just like we did before, I want you to bring a little weight forward into the toes. See how that feels in your glutes, your hips, and then bring a little weight back. Let's bring weight forward again and hold. Good. On your next exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. You're gonna let your arms hang and your head hang as you really press into the soles of your feet and let your abdominals help lift you up to stand. Shine your palms forward, awesome. And then take a few shoulder rolls, lifting up and back, opening up across the front of your chest. Good, find some stillness here. Flip your palms forward And wiggle your feet in just a bit closer, but take a look down at your index toes, and those are going to be pointed forward. So sometimes they're pointed a little in or a little out. We want them anchored forward. Soft bend in the knees. And I want you to think about pressing your hips forward. So we got like a little booty out here, just a little gentle press forward. Lift up in the crown of the head, and our low ribs tuck in towards our navel. Standing, a lot of things to think about. Let's inhale, reach our arms up overhead, maybe look up. I'm going to take a gentle side bend. So grab onto that left wrist with your right hand, flip your left palm down, and exhale, bend the knees, pull your left wrist over your head towards the right side. Really press your left hip out and away from you. Good, inhale, come back up to center. Let's switch it out, grab for that right wrist. And exhale, soft bend in the knees as you reach overhead. Really pressing the right hip bone out. Good, inhale, come back to center. Exhale, wide arm forward fold. So arms fan out as you bend in half. Knees bent all the way down. Good, let's walk out to downward facing dog. Mindful of the towel or blanket, walk forward into your downward facing dog. Corkscrew your hands in. Look back towards your feet. Good, inhale, draw your navel in. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, we're gonna rock forward to a modified plank. So shoulders right over wrists. Exhale, lower down. Your elbows might graze next to your ribs. You come all the way down here. And then inhale up for cobra. Put toenails pressed down, hands pressed down, just a little lift. And exhale down. Let's do the reverse. So we're gonna press up to plank, back to table, tuck toes, downward facing dog. This is gonna be our modified sun A, our sun salute A. We're gonna walk our hands back to our feet. So as you exhale, walk back right, left, right. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten out those legs if you can. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up tall, arms sweep out, up overhead. And we take those side bends. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, forward fold, bend those knees, be gentle with your hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward, that's where we're going. Exhale, down dog, walk right, left, right. Good, inhale, look back at your toes. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, modified plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog, right? It's our up dog is hands and tops of the feet. Then exhale through plank, knees down or up, down dog. Breathe in here, breathe out. Last one, look back at your feet. As you exhale, walk your hands back, draw your navel in, move slow to feel the stretch in the legs. Inhale, halfway lift, weight forward in those toes. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Arms up overhead, side bend to the right as you exhale. Inhale, side bend to the left. Inhale, open up the arms, look up. And exhale, forward fold over your legs, bent knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, look forward, walk out. 1, 2, 3. Inhale, look back at your feet. Exhale, knees down, or maybe you just rock forward. Lower down all the way or halfway. You got your up dog or your down dog pressing away from the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here or in that child's pose. Notice what has changed for you. Your heart rate, your breathing, your temperature, maybe something else. Good. Inhale, look forward at your hands. And exhale, lower your knees down to the mat. We're in that tabletop pose. I'm gonna have you bring your hands over to the left side of your mat. So they're gonna come more to the left side. And then step your right foot forward. So we're gonna end up in a little bit of a lunge here. Let's stay down with hands or fists on the ground first. And then I want you to start to lunge into that right knee. So did you see what we did here? My hip kind of dropped down. That's what I want for you too. To your level though, right? To where you are. That might mean staying up on fists. That might not be as deep as mine. The practice is focusing on your body. Does this feel good in your body? Right, soften the hip flexor here on this left side. So we're gonna move this back into a half splits stretch. So we're gonna lift the left hip up and back and start to straighten out the right leg. For me, I have to come up on fingertips for this one, right? I'm in the tight hamstring club. As my right leg straightens a bit, I'm gonna lift it up. And then I'm gonna sink back into my hips. I'm gonna stay up on fingertips here just to give my upper body a little support. But think about long spine here and really kind of incorporating your abdominals into helping you stay lifted. So while this is a stretch on the back of your hamstrings, we're kind of corseting in our abdominals to help us stay up rather than rounded. I want a proud chest, long spine. Awesome, let's come back forward into this kind of a knee down runner's lunge. And we're gonna take just a gentle twist here. So you can take your hand to your right thigh and look over the shoulder. If you want a little bit more, you can roll over onto the pinky side of your right foot, press your right thigh away, and then look over the shoulder. Think about squeezing your hips up and in though, to help support the spine. Good, let's exhale, roll everything back to center. We're gonna tuck these back toes under, and we're gonna step back to a downward facing dog. So watch your towel for me. Step back, adjust your hands, take a breath in and a breath out. Notice if there's any difference between right and left legs here. Maybe you pedal through the legs just to bring your awareness to hamstrings and hips here. Maybe there is no difference, that's okay too. Inhale, look forward, let's work on the other side. Exhale, knees down. Slide your hands over to the right side of the mat and step the left foot forward. Right away, find your lunge here. So for me, sometimes I have to tuck this back foot under, lift up, so I can get on that soft part of my knee rather than that bony part. I also sometimes have to widen out my stance a little, so wiggling my left foot to the left edge of my mat. Option to close your hands and make fists. See if you can drop that right hip 1 inch down. 1 inch is a paper clip, so think about that. Good. Find a little softness in the elbows. And let's take it back to that half split stretch. So we lift the hips up and back, similar to that down dog. Hands walk back, maybe to frame the knee as you lift your left foot up. So my hips are kind of starting to open, my right hip starting to come forward instead of back. So I'm gonna have to just be mindful of that. There's no right or wrong, it's just knowing. Lengthen out my spine, broaden out my collarbones, soft bend in my left knee so I don't overextend here. Hug the abdominals in. One more breath in and out. And as you exhale, walk it back forward. Hands come inside the left foot. We're gonna lift up here. Good. And step back, downward facing dog. So option here for you all is to take a little flow, that high to mid plank, hold down dog or a child's pose. So if you're coming into the flow, our inhale takes you forward. Exhale lowers you down all the way or halfway. Inhale for the heart opener, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Look back to your feet. Exhale, hands walk back, right, left, right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold deeply. Inhale, rise up tall. Press your legs in towards one another as you reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Big breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Hands stay together. Slide them down your midline, down the heart and chest, all the way to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, dog pose. Look forward, walk hands mindfully over that towel, right, left, right. Downward facing dog and hold, please. All right, I want you to lift your right leg up behind you. So look back to your feet, lift the right leg up, and then bend your knee. So your right heel comes towards your left glute, and then check in with your left foot. See if it lifted up a little. And if you'd like, encourage your left heel down towards your mat. You can circle out your knee here, or just hold this hip opener. Right, we're opening up the inner thigh towards the side, the right side. All right, exhale, straighten out your right leg, turn your right hip down, so hips face the same way. Good, and we're gonna try to step our foot forward. So knowing that you might have to bring it halfway in and then step it forward. Your hands frame your foot. And from here, I want you to bring the ball of your left, or the heel of your left foot over the ball. Look forward. Good. Tall and proud here. Nice. Spin that back heel down. We're gonna lift up to warrior two. Hands to the thigh or open all the way up. Good, so what's kind of fun about having your camera on sometimes is that you can see the levels of your arms. So ideally, my arms are parallel to the floor. Generally though, we lift up one or the other. So if you want to practice on your own with your camera on, this has been a learning experience for me watching myself teach. The little things that I do. Let's anchor that right knee forward. Good. And press the left pinky toe down. Palms face the floor. Flip your palms up and exhale, reverse warrior. Reach that right arm overhead. Maybe this left hand rests on the thigh or down the leg, or it can tuck behind you. Right, it can sneaky boo out here to your waist. Good, inhale back up to that warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. So now we are gonna reach forward, elbow to the thigh, arms straight up. So think of this like a twist. We're opening up to the ceiling. Look, I got tired, I unbent my knee, so keep it bent there, whatever works for you. Doesn't have to be a huge bend. And I want you to reach overhead. Good. So again, finding that long body stretch from left heel out left fingertips. Inhale, lift back up, warrior two. Exhale, straighten out your front leg. Let's take a triangle. So right away, check in with your knees. Did you lock them out? I did. So I'm gonna soften a bit. I'm gonna stick my left booty cheek out, start to reach forward like I could reach these flowers. When I find my sticking point, then my arms go north and south. So corset your abdominals in, let them support you. We're looking up, navel and sternum go up. You can rest this right hand on your shin and think about reaching up as much as you're like reaching down towards your leg. Good, inhale, rise back up, star pose. Turn your toes towards me. Reach the arms up. Maybe look up, lift the heart up, arch the back. And then bend the knees, exhale, wide-legged fold. So hands or fingertips come to the floor. Your legs can be as wide as you'd like. I like to point my big toes in and my heels out as I lift my sit bones up. Then when I'm ready, when the legs feel secure, I can bend my elbows and lower my head down. From here, you can experiment with bringing your fingertips in line with your toe tips, trusting yourself. You could also point your fingertips back behind you to get a little wrist stretch in here, soft bend in the elbows. Bring your hands back under your face. And we're gonna point our right toes forward and find a warrior two in our knee. So we're lunging forward. And then reach our hands out. So we're looking for like a little down dog in our arms and warrior two in our legs. My butt is kind of sticking way out behind me. Soften your gaze between your arms. Good. Let's take this into a little side lunge here. So what we're gonna do is walk our hands over to our left side. The right knee is still drawing forward, but I feel this a little bit more in my left inner thigh. Bring your hands back to center. Good, you're gonna turn your right toes back towards me so we're in that wide-legged fold again. Lower the head down. Inhale, halfway lift with wide legs. So long arms, long spine. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise up slow. Good. We're gonna take this on the other side. So we're gonna point our left toes away from us and bend. Expand your arms out into warrior two. Reach forward and back. Good. See if you can slide your shoulder blades down your spine. Flip your palms up. Reverse warrior. Reach up and overhead with the left arm. Maybe you take that bind on this side. Good. Exhale. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. So we start in the sort of level one of this posture. Knee is bent. Forearm on the thigh. Eyes and arm twisted up. Lifted up, I should say. And then we can take it over. Press into that right pinky toe. So a lot of the times we kind of put a lot of weight in this left thigh. So see if you can make this left forearm light. And inhale, warrior two. Exhale for triangle. So right hips go back. And we reach forward and down. Finding 6 and 12 on the clock with our arms. Letting our abdominals help us stay lifted as we rip the mat apart with our feet. Good, inhale, lift back up. Good, turn all 10 toes to face the same direction. And exhale, forward fold. Find a little bend in your knees as you soften your elbows and head down towards the floor. Maybe even shake your head no or yes. And inhale, find a halfway lift. And then exhale, turn your left toes away from you. And bend. So we find that warrior two in the legs and down dog in the arms. So the arms come kind of at a diagonal out to the side of the left foot. Press your hips back. Find that down dog in your upper body. Warrior two in the legs. Let's take that lunge again. So we're gonna walk the hands over over, and just take them as far as you can while keeping the lunge. Good. Bring hands back under the face. Turn your left toes to face the long edge of your mat. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, come up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, rise up. Good. We're gonna find warrior two in the front leg again. So we're gonna expand and open up. Look down at your right foot. Exhale, frame the right foot with your hands, your left toes turn forward. And we're gonna try to step back here with that right foot, all the way back into our downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up high behind you and open up your hip by bending the knee. Notice where you feel this most, in your hip flexor. Maybe you feel it a little bit in your arms. If you feel it in your arms, press the right heel down. Inhale, straighten out the left leg. Good, exhale, step it forward. Again, knowing that it might just come halfway, and you lift it up. All 10 toes point forward, and keep your feet on opposite sides of the mat. So if there was a line down the middle, they're in opposite lanes. Bring the right heel on top of the right ball mount. See? Good, then look forward. Widen out your shoulders. Good. We're gonna turn that back heel down. Lift up to your warrior two, opening up. Good, gazing over the front fingers. Inhale, reverse. Palm flips up as you sweep it over your head. Exhale, extended side angle. Good, inhale, warrior two. Exhale, prep for triangle. So hips go back and reach down. Breath in here and breath out. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale for a star pose. So I'm facing away from you right now. I'll turn around. We're gonna skip our wide-legged fold and go right into warrior two with the right foot. So right toes turn towards the back of your mat. Expand out. Take up space. Open up the arms and the heart here. Sink low. Inhale, reverse as you're ready. Exhale, extended side angle, elbow to thigh, arm up overhead. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, triangle prep. Right leg straightens, hips go back. Inhale, reach the right fingertips forward. Exhale, north and south with your arms. Good, inhale, rise back up, warrior two. Exhale here. Inhale, star pose. All 10 toes face the same way, reach up. Exhale, warrior two, left side. Expand back towards the front of your space. Inhale, look down at your foot. Exhale, hands to the floor. Right toes turn forward. Step back. Downward facing dog. Inhale here. Exhale. Mind your towel as you walk your hands back to your feet. Right, left, right. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up tall. Press the feet down to help you lift your upper body up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Come to the center of your space. Move that towel or blanket out of the way. And we're gonna do a little stretch for our hips and our low back. So feet are about hip width distance apart. Fingers and palms face forward. We are going to root down into the left side and lift the right leg up. Good. Inhale, arms reach up, maybe. And then exhale, we're gonna bring right ankle on top of left thigh, hands to heart center, and sit the hips back. So it's almost like you're sitting on like a high bar stool behind you. For me, it helps to put my hands on my right leg. Don't press too hard on this knee though. And see if you can get a little bit lower, really almost like a squat here. I know it's a good yoga day when my legs are shaking. We're gonna inhale, rise up. We're gonna keep this leg lifted, bring it back up to that 90 degrees, and then exhale, lower down. Maybe shake it off. We go to the left side. So right leg is that rooted, grounded leg. Palms face forward. Inhale the left leg up. So we're using our abdominals to lift up. Holding here is always an option. I didn't mention on the other side. This builds great ankle strength in that rooted leg. If you're ready though, cross and take a seat. Hands can rest at heart or on the leg, and you will always have one side that is wobblier than the other. Don't let it distract you. Sink into the practice. No ego. We're gonna inhale, lift up, keep the leg lifted. Exhale down, shake it off. Let's do one more little standing pose here for our quads. I'm gonna demo using my countertop as a little support. You could also grab a chair, side of your couch, whatever you have nearby. We are gonna start with the left side lifted, right leg grounded. So point your toes forward here. I'm gonna use my right hand to grab onto my countertop. I'm gonna lift my left leg up behind me for dancer's prep. I'm gonna grab on with my left hand to my left ankle. Now you can see here, my knees are not in line. My hips are also out of alignment. So I'm gonna pull everything back in. I'm gonna pull my belly in too, help support my spine. So you can stay right here. This feels great on the front of my quad. If you're looking for a quad stretch, this is awesome. If you wanna add on, I want you to push your left foot behind you. And so your arm is just kind of along for the ride, the left arm. Maybe you reach your arm up off the countertop. Look up rather than down. You're going forward. Good. Kick that left foot back. Your arm is just along for the ride. And then let's come down and give it a go on the other side. If you don't want to use the countertop, you can step away a bit. Left leg roots, right foot kicks up. We're gonna hold on to our ankle, near the ankle, the top of the foot. Bring the knees back in line, navel draws in, head lifts up. I love this quad stretch. When you're ready, you're gonna kick the right foot behind you. That's what facilitates that rounding, that kind of wine glass shape. I can reach for the countertop, eyes up, or maybe reach my arm up too. Now my right hip's wanting to open up to the side. Square your hip down instead. Good, let's exhale, come out. Shake it off. Take the next 2 breaths to come into your downward facing dog. You can also, actually, we could come into our pigeon pose from hands and knees too. So if your legs are a little tired or you have some wrist issues, you could always bring your knees to the mat. If you know your cues to get into your pigeon, go ahead and move your right shin forward behind your right and left wrist. If you want a little assistance here, let's start on hands and knees. And you're gonna lift the right knee up off the mat and bring it forward. Just like we did before, I'm gonna lift my left knee up and come down on that soft part. My left leg's nice and long behind me. You can look over to check. You have that blanket or towel. You can fold or roll up. And I like to place it under my right hip and my left, or my right booty cheek, I should say, and left hip flexor. This helps me keep my hips forward rather than at an angle. You can stay lifted here or come all the way down. Elbows to the ground. I'm gonna give you a few moments of silence here, so my voice does not become a distraction to your practice. Inhale, start to lift your head up, your chest up, and bring your palms back below you. We're gonna tuck our left toes, press and lift up and back to a three-legged dog with that bent knee. Or if you're down on your tabletop, you can take a calf stretch, pressing the right toes down into the mat as you stamp your left heel behind you. Good. Let's take it on the other side. So draw your left knee forward. And then find that position here that makes sense for you today. Always an option to do this posture on your back, just like we did standing. A little more passive. It's always a nice grounding feeling to have your head, neck, shoulders, and spine on the ground. So you decide and enjoy the silence. Start to make your way out of your pigeon pose. Maybe taking that down dog kick or finding the calf stretch on hands and knee. Once you've found that counter stretch, come down to a seat on your knees and then flip over and stretch your legs out in front of you. We're going to draw the right foot in towards, let me turn a little, right foot in towards the left thigh and straighten out the left leg. If you have that towel or blanket nearby, you can wrap it around the bottom of your foot to help you stretch out here, the ball mount of your foot. Or if you have the flexibility, let's reach forward and hold on to the foot. Lower the right shoulder down. So my leg's a little tight today from my run. I'm going to use this towel instead. Just kind of hooking it around the top of my foot to pull my heart closer to my toe. So rather than rounding here, I want us to stay proud and lifted. Press that right sit bone down into the floor. And let's switch this on to the other side. So you can use that towel again. Let's turn our sternum, our chest towards the right foot, and we're gonna reach forward. So no ego here. I need the towel today. Shoulders are wide but soft. Collarbone expands side to side. Left sit bone presses down into the floor. And as you exhale, you might find a little more of a hinge in your hips forward towards your toes. Let's inhale, come back up. And bring both feet to touch for a little butterfly here. And let your feet kind of open. So rather than pushing the toes together, go ahead and let them open for me. We're gonna take a little side bend here. So right hand comes down and we reach up and over. We'll push the left sit bones down. And then we inhale back to center. Exhale over to the other side. Good, pressing right sit bone down. Let's do each side one more time. Your inhale lifts you up. Exhale takes you over. Inhale up. Exhale over. Inhale, both arms up, palms forward. And just like you're on a roller coaster, we hinge forward. Maybe your hands land in front of your feet, or on your feet, or on your shins. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Close your knees like a book. I'm going to take one more little stretch for our legs here. You're going to recline down onto your back and cross your right ankle on top of the left. So we were here standing. And I want you to take your knees over to the right. Expand your arms out. A little IT band stretch. So my left shoulder is lifting up. So I'm going to press down into my right shoulder so I can kind of twist and lift up. Maybe gaze up. Maybe gaze over to the left side. And inhale, bring your knees back up. Let's switch it out. Right foot down. Left foot crosses. We're going to flex the foot and take the knees over to the left side. So it's just oh man, this feels good. Just the weight of your left foot is just gentle on the outer kind of knee thigh area. Again, check in with your shoulders. So I'm going to twist. So right and left are down. And maybe I look over to the right. Then inhale, bring yourself back to center, rolling onto your spine. Lower left foot down. And give your knees a squeeze into your chest. Maybe you hold on to the knees and just hug in. If you have the space, you can wrap around with your forearms. Head, neck, and shoulders stay soft here. And for our final pose, you can take legs up the wall, so to speak, our imaginary wall. Foot flex, toes down. Or you can widen out the feet, hold on to the outer edges for a little happy baby. So kind of deciding if you've got any tension or lactic acid buildup in the legs, that legs up the wall is so good. I'd recommend you could even rest in your final rest with your legs up against a wall, a little pillow under your sacrum. And happy baby is a great one too. It's more of a hip opener. Both are grounding, calming poses. Each one just offering something a little different. All right, yogis, give yourself one final squeeze in. So knees in no matter where you are. Lift your head up. And then exhale, make your way into your final resting position. So those options can be legs up the wall. If you want to close down the laptop, go over to the wall, lift up. Or if you want to stretch your legs out long, and stretch your legs out long. It is 12:55. So if you need to log off and run back to whatever is calling you, Please know that I will not be offended. If you have a few moments to rest here, rest. Let your eyelids touch. Your forehead and jaw soften and melt into your skull. Flip your palms up to receive what you need to receive. Flip your palms down to keep yourself internally resting here. Soften your shoulders down towards the floor. Let your breathing become natural, uninhibited, and take rest. There's nothing that you need to do or be in this moment. If you have the time, please stay here and rest, recuperate, recharge. But if you need to get moving along with the rest of your afternoon, start to deepen your breath. Curl your fingers in towards your palms. Move toes and ankles. Extend your arms overhead away from your toes. Find that long stretch. And then exhale, roll to your side for side lying posture. Take a moment here in gratitude for your practice. And knowing that this work we do on our yoga mat is not a distraction, but it's our practice. It's what makes us better. We tune in here instead of tuning out. When you're ready, press into the floor and up to a seat, and we'll end with a breath in and out. Hands rest on your thighs. Take a long breath in your nose. Hold at the top. Exhale out your mouth. You can bring one hand to your heart and then the other. You can bow your head down towards your heart. A compassionate gesture for yourself. When you're ready, you can lift your eyes up to the horizon and open, and that is our time together on the mat today. Thank you so much. Have a great one.